Our top story this evening is straight out of a blockbuster Bollywood movie where the real has stirred the real again. Aryan Khan's directorial, rather edgy, satirical debut has landed him in legal hot water. He promised to shake things up as a director, but maybe this is something he didn't expect, that his old nemesis would come back with a 2 crore rupees lawsuit. We're talking about Sameer Wankhede, who's offended by Junior Khan's spoof in The Bads of Bollywood. If you've seen the series, you know that there is a clear mention of Sameer Wankhede, not by name, but there's a lookalike who's in fact put out. We have that picture on your screens. This is a lookalike of Sameer Wankhede, who Aryan Khan has mentioned in Bads of Bollywood, who claims to be an NCD officer and says, I will only go after Bollywood people, saying, you're watching someone doing drugs. So it was a clear attempt to poke fun and mock Sameer Wankhede. Hasn't gone down well with the former NCB officer.
Aryan Khan's directorial debut, The Bads of Bollywood has stirred up more than just laughs. It has stirred up some legal trouble. After Ranbir Kapoor's viral vape scene, it is now Aryan who is in the hot seat, and this time for a spoof that is too real for some. The series features a character strikingly similar to IRS officer Sameer Wankhede, the man who led the 2021 drug bust that landed Aryan in jail for 25 days. In episode 1, a man playing Wankhede's character shows up outside a Bollywood party on a drug hunt. He ignores an obvious junkie and instead arrests a star kid just because he's from Bollywood. And just as he shouts, Satyamev Jayate, the junkie casually flips him off with a middle finger. While for the people it was a spicy satire, for ex-narcotic officer, it's defamation. And Sameer Wankhede isn't laughing. He has now filed a petition in the Delhi High Court naming Aryan Khan, Shah Rukh Khan, Gauri Khan, Netflix and Red Chillies Entertainment. Wankhede has called the show false, malicious and defamatory, claiming it damages the image of anti-drug enforcement agencies and erodes public trust. He is also demanding a public apology and 2 crore rupees in damages.
सर नेटफ्लिक्स पे एक सीरीज लॉन्च हुई है
जी
जो रेड चिलीज ने प्रोड्यूस करी है, आर्या खान ने वो डायरेक्ट की है। उसमें एक कैमियो दिखाया गया है, लुक अलाइक पर्सन दिखाया गया है
जी
जो हमारे क्लाइंट है समीर वानखेड़े IRS ऑफिस, उनसे वो हूबहू मिलता जुलता है।
ठीक है।
और उसको दिखाते हुए उन्होंने हमारा कैरेक्टर असैसिनेशन किया है। जो कोर्ट प्रोसीडिंग्स पेंडिंग है उनको प्रेजुडिस करने की कोशिश की है। उनकी जो प्री प्लान थ्योरी थी उसको उन्होंने बिल्कुल प्रैक्टिकल इम्प्लीमेंट कर दी है।
It is deja vu. Wankhede versus Aryan round 2. Well, when the real spills into real and reality tastes like Bollywood masala, the lines indeed get blurred. With Astha Bhardwaj, Bureau Report, India Today.
Okay, let's bring in our reporters for more details about this defamation case. Arvind Ojha is joining us with more details from our newsroom. We also have Sana Farzeen for the latest that's come in as far as reactions from Red Chillies goes. I'll begin with you, Arvind, on exactly what the defamation case says here. समीर वांकेडे जो डेफमेशन केस अभी फाइल किया है उसमें क्या-क्या चार्जेस मेंशन किया है बैड्स ऑफ बॉलीवुड के खिलाफ?
अब देखिए, समीर वानखेड़े ने दिल्ली हाई कोर्ट में अपने एडवोकेट के जरिए केस फाइल किया है और उसमें जो पार्टी है वो रेड चिली है, उसके अलावा नेटफ्लिक्स है। रेड चिली शाहरुख खान और गौरी खान की कंपनी है। समीर वानखेड़े ने कहा है कि बैड्स ऑफ बॉलीवुड एक सीरीज आई है जिसमें उनकी इमेज को नुकसान पहुंचाने की कोशिश की गई है, निगेटिव दिखाने की कोशिश की गई है, उनको करप्ट ऑफिसर दिखाने की कोशिश की गई है। समीर वानखेड़े ने ये कहा है कि जो बैड्स ऑफ बॉलीवुड सीरीज है उसमें उनसे मिलते जुलता कैरेक्टर ही दिखाया गया और जो कुछ भी आर्यन खान ड्रग्स केस में जो केसेस सामने आए थे लगभग सिमिलर वही वेब सीरीज में दिखाया गया जिससे उनकी इमेज को नुकसान पहुंचा है। और जब से वो क्लिप सोशल मीडिया पे आई है उनको उनकी फैमिली को गालियां दी जा रही हैं, उनको थ्रेट किया जा रहा है। साथ ही साथ उन्होंने ये भी आरोप लगाया कि सत्यमेव जयते का भी इसमें अपमान किया गया। सत्यमेव जयते को कहने के बाद इस वेब सीरीज में एक शख्स अश्लील इशारे करता है। तो जो वेब सीरीज आई है उसको लेकर नेटफ्लिक्स, रेड चिली और कुछ कंटेंट क्रिएटर है उनको पार्टी बनाया गया है। इसमें डिफेमेशन केस भी फाइल किया गया है। 2 करोड़ रुपए इसमें हर्जाना मांगे गए हैं, जो समीर वानखेड़े एंड टीम का कहना है कि वो जब मिलते हैं तो वो टाटा मेमोरियल हॉस्पिटल है उसको दान कर दिया जाएगा। तो ये जो पूरा फाइल है केस, वो दिल्ली हाई कोर्ट में फाइल किया गया है और आने वाले 1 या 2 दिन में इस पर सुनवाई भी होने वाली है।
Okay, Arvind, thanks for those details. Let me bring in Sana Farzeen as well. Sana, any reaction that's come in from Aryan Khan, the director of the series, or for that matter, from Red Chillies?
No, as of now, there's no official statement, neither from Red Chillies nor Netflix. Aaron, of course, is the writer and director of the show. He made his debut with this show. As of now, there's no official statement, but as per social media and what people, the industry sources are saying, that there is no clear mention of Sameer Wankhede, and thus the case falls flat. Of course, he's claimed that this is defamatory to his image and also the anti-drugs establishment, but definitely there was no mention of his name officially. The characters were fictitious, every establishment has been fictitious, and thus the case will be heard in a couple of more days. Only then will the makers, Red Chilli Entertainment, Netflix, Aaron, Shah Rukh, Gauri, all of them have been named in this case, will make an official statement, although our sources suggest that as of now they will not be making any official statement till the hearing is finalized. And Sameer Wankhede, of course, has asked for rupees 2 crore as defamation for his defamation, and he's also promised that he wants to give it to Tata Memorial Center, and he's not just blaming that he was defamed, but also the anti-drugs establishment of the country.
Okay, Sana, thanks for those details. Now, just to put it in context of exactly what's been mentioned in Bads of Bollywood, I just watched the series, and in the very first episode, there's a clear, very, very obvious reference to Sameer Wankhede. He's not named, neither is the NCB. The NCB is referred to as the NCD, but in that picture that you see there, a clear lookalike of Sameer Wankhede drives up in a jeep right outside a Bollywood party, steps out and then starts going after a young man who's smoking, who's doing drugs. But the boy says, I'm not part of Bollywood. So essentially to mock and make fun of Sameer Wankhede, the man then says, no, I want only someone involved with Bollywood, and nabs someone else saying that you watched him doing drugs. So this was Aryan Khan's essentially funny take, perhaps his first response to all that played out with him. Remember that he was taken into custody by Sameer Wankhede. But it's over this reference, that very scene, that you've got this outrage, this defamation case being filed right now. This was a spoof, very clearly, but the reference was very, very obvious to Sameer Wankhede. No mention of NCB. Like I told you, it was NCD in the series.
Living in someone's shadow is a struggle.
In fact, as we focus on this particular story and get you all of the reactions, also tell you that so far there's been no statement really that's come in from Red Chillies Entertainment, or for that matter from Aryan Khan. Red Chillies Entertainment currently is run, of course, by the Khans, by Gauri Khan, and they are the producers of Aryan Khan's debut series, which is why they've been named. But what you see on your screens, that's the scene that Sameer Wankhede has taken offense to, where a Wankhede look-alike goes around. The news that's coming in right now is that the Delhi High Court will hear Sameer Wankhede's petition tomorrow against Red Chillies Entertainment and against Bads of Bollywood. Tomorrow, Delhi High Court will decide whether this particular case that he's filed has any holding or not. Remember that this is a 2 crore defamation case that's been filed by Sameer Wankhede. He says that this is intentionally done not just to hurt his reputation, but also that of the Narcotics Control Bureau, the NCB, and that's why he's taken this particular step. It'll be interesting to see what the Delhi High Court has to say. And besides that, this particular hearing is the first time you'll also hear the other side. Red Chillies Entertainment and Aryan Khan's version of why he decided to put out this particular scene, a spoof of what played out with him, and perhaps in a way his first reaction to what happened. Okay, let's move on and get your big political news break that's coming in. Top BJP netas have been given crucial poll role. Big headlines that have emerged for the state of Tamil Nadu. Baijan Panda has been named as the BJP election in charge. for Bihar. The elections are in fact just about a month away. Dharmendra Pradhan has been named as the BJP election in charge for Bihar. Bhupendra Yadav has been named as the election in charge for Bengal. Remember, Tamil Nadu and Bengal go to elections in about 6-7 months from now in 2026. But there are two big states that the BJP is eyeing. Let me bring in Maria Shakil for more details on this. Maria, three big announcements being made, election in charges for Bihar, Tamil Nadu as well as Bengal. Take us through really the significance of each of these names being announced.
Yes, so let's start with Mr. Panda. Remember, it was under his leadership and the entire election management that the BJP won the crucial state of Delhi just few months ago, and hence it is being seen as him being given a crucial responsibility of an important poll-bound state, a state which is very close to BJP's heart, but yet they are yet to make, or I should say, get a toehold in that state of Tamil Nadu. Having said that, I think it is Bihar which becomes particularly important because Dharmendra Pradhan, Union Minister, has been in charge of Bihar for in three elections. I remember clearly, 2010 when Nitish Kumar and BJP fought jointly in that it was a landslide election, BJP JDU winning almost 206 out of 243 seats. Mr. Pradhan, of course, was given that credit to ensure that Nitish and BJP had complete sync in the entire election management and electioneering the entire election campaign. Then another state. Bengal becomes important because Bhupendra Yadav, a trusted lieutenant or a trusted aide of Amit Shah, has been given that responsibility of that state. Because remember, Bengal has been one of unfinished projects of Mr. Shah. I remember that soon after the BJP won the state of Uttar Pradesh for the first time, that was in 20, was held in Bhubaneswar. Which is of course in Odisha. The message was that the BJP is looking at east.
Okay. All right, apologies. We're having a bit of a problem there with Maria's connection. I'll bring in Pramod Madhav, who's joining us from Chennai with more details on one particular headline that emerges from this, which is that you have Baijan Panda being named as the Tamil Nadu election in charge. And he's got his work cut out for him, Pramod, with, the BJP looking to make inroads, the alliance rather rocky because there's a lot of talk about a huge number of differences between the BJP and the AIADMK. It's a challenging road ahead for Panda.
It definitely is, Akshita. You clearly put it out because on one side we have a new BJP state president, Naina Nagendran, who is trying to appease the EPS, Edappadi K. Palaniswamy, the leader or general secretary of AIADMK. On the other side, you still have Annamalai, the former state president, who is having a cordial relationship with TTV Dinakaran, who does not like Edappadi K. Palaniswamy. In fact, TTV Dinakaran is nowadays only calling EPS as betrayer and is not even using the name of EPS in any way. And he has very clearly mentioned that until EPS is the CM candidate, he will not join the party, but the alliance. However, on the other side, still today also we saw Naina Nagendran going ahead and meeting C.V. Shanmugam earlier. He met with EPS. That way, once speaking to us, Naina Nagendran very clearly mentioned that was an exclusive conversation that when we asked him, the TTV Dinakaran, what is going to happen with him, he clearly said that TTV Dinakaran has already exited NDA and there is nothing to talk about it. So in that way, there are two leaders over here in BJP itself and they have to bring in all the horses together. So it's definitely going to be a challenge, Akshita.
Very true. We'll see, of course, how Mr. Panda chooses to steer through this rather challenging time for the BJP in Tamil Nadu, especially because about 6 months away is a very crucial election for the party and for the alliance in Tamil Nadu. Thanks very much, Pramod and Maria, for joining us. Let's cut across to more breaking news coming in. And this one coming in from Bengaluru, you've got Wipro founder Chairman Azim Premji, who's declined Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaia's proposal to allow access through the company's campus and Outer Ring Road. Remember that Chief Minister Siddaramaiya had actually written to Azim Premji requesting access for vehicles into the company property, into their roads to ease some of the traffic on Outer Ring Road. Azim Premji has replied saying that the company's roads, it's private property and so is not intended for public use. So Azim Premji there shooting down the request that's come in from the Karnataka Chief Minister. The government is trying to figure out exactly how they can address the outer ring road crisis in Bengaluru. Because remember, it was over this that there was this huge controversy when a company called Blackbuck, the CEO said, we're shifting our office out of Bellandur because ORR is such a mess, because the outer ring road is jammed up. They thought of a solution, which is to go through the Wipro campus. But that's something that's now been shot down by Azim Premji. I bring in Sagai Raj for more details on this. So Sagai, a clear message from Azim Premji. He is saying, no, we can't do that. It's private property. And so for the government, it's back to the drawing board to figure out how they're going to clear out the outer ring road mess.
Absolutely, and if you notice that there was a request from Karnataka Chief Minister requesting him to allow the campus for a private vehicle. That's when Azim Premji has responded to Karnataka Chief Minister, and he said that it's a private property and there are strict norms which has been followed. And there is also security concern. If you notice that even in the past there were very hoax calls which was received stating that there is a bomb threat in Infosys campus, there is a bomb threat in Wipro campus. Keeping all these things in the mind, there is a strict security protocol which has been followed in many corporate and private companies. And these kind of requests from the Chief Minister are now avoidable, and it has put them in a check. And now the Wipro, as Azim Premji, has responded to this, saying that there are a lot of security protocol which has been followed, security norms which has been followed, and they cannot go against their own protocol, which is a major threat to the company itself. And they have denied the request from Karnataka Chief Minister for allowing the private vehicles in their campus.
Okay, Sagai, thanks very much for those details. Now, of course, the focus will be on what the Siddaramaiah government does to fix the mess in the outer ring road. Because the Wipro, Azim Premji has made it very clear this is a private campus, besides which it's clearly not the company's priority to take care of the government's mess right now. But as I wrap up this edition of Super 6, let me give you a glimpse of where I've been in the last 24 hours. I made it all the way to Barcelona to take a rather thrilling ride with Tale Ajit Kumar, straight from the racing circuit of Barcelona. We dive